welcome to mo2 cocktail hour. The ladies that does lunch. We are ladies of leisure. So it's a Sunday afternoon, lovely people. It's family day for the Gambians, and they all head to the beach. It's not like Jamaica where they lock off this beach and lock off that beach. We've got 33 miles of beautiful.
Is that how long it is?
33 miles is the mouth, because we're on the west coast. West coast. And we're on the west coast, and there's 33 miles of really nice sands. And they look after the beach here. Not that anywhere else though. But you know what? We like it. That's my back door. It only takes a 2-minute walk down there. But that's what Gambians do. Sunday they all head to the beach. Because we're ladies, what does lunch? Yay! So say hi to my lovely, to the ladies of the hour. And the ladies of the hour is Tani.
Hi everyone, I'm Tani. I'm new to the Gambia. Only 3 months here in the Gambia, but we're loving it so far. It feels kind of like home to me. I'm from Jamaica originally, so via way of the Americas. So it's pretty cool. I like it. And of course, we had to find this spot, which is our favorite spot, which feels like home most of all.
Very good, very good. This is the lovely other lady of the hour, which is Grace. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Grace. I've been living in Gambia now for 4 years. We moved during COVID. We realised that we was trapped in our countries, and you know, some of us were claustrophobic and needed to get out and do something different.
Who's the we?
Well, I moved there with me and my children. So you know, it's been an experience, but it's been good. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Aisha May. Sorry, I'm Aisha. And I moved here 4 years ago too. For the same kind of reasons that Grace mentioned. Genuinely felt that cabin fever was like
Cabin fever.
being out, like, because I always had it there, but it was amplified when it came to the COVID
So, COVID was a really good time here in the Gambia because we didn't experience the cabin fever because of course we had the beaches, we had, I'm not saying COVID rules wasn't here, but it was hard to kind of...
Well, that was though, because they had that curfew.
Yeah, they did have a curfew.
And I remember feeling it certain times because you had to get to the house quick time because they had the police on the road. And if they did catch you, you'd get in trouble.
But imagine having COVID with your backyard like this.
So obviously
You could sit out on your veranda.
Yeah.
We had space there.
They weren't telling you how many people you can have on the house.
Yeah.
so those restrictions.
Well, actually, I don't know about the house, but
It was
they
the
shut
outside
down both
gathering.
restaurants. They shut down businesses for a good while.
Yes, I remember
But
that.
there was a lot of Americans and Jamaicans and Brits coming, which I guess but we've got to know each other since that, Americans, because you visited so many times.
Yeah, I did. I came in 21, and that was the first year too. So I guess we all came out of that time of COVID too, and feeling like we wanted. But you know what came out of COVID that I thought was great? With the family, we spent a lot more quality time with the family, and we didn't get that time a lot when we were always busy doing things and running out of the house and the kids going here and there. So it slowed us down well enough for us to think about our lives and think about how we were raising the children and think about what we were putting in them, what we were spending time teaching, everything. So that was a big eye opener for me. I think it's one of the biggest lessons I learned out of COVID. So it's like it's bittersweet because it was so much people dying in America, it was just crazy. But then at the same token, when we were indoors, we got to sense the family and sense the missingness. We got on Zoom, people who would normally get on Zoom, we started figuring it out, we got connected in different ways. So it taught us a lot, actually. It taught us a lot.
To be honest with you, I think some parents actually met their children during COVID. They didn't know their children since their child was probably 4 years old and went into school.
Or nursery
And then they
things like
barely
that.
got to know what they had been raised with.
Wow.
That's why some people, I think, after COVID, they still continue to homeschool their children. They realise, this is the product of everything we've been through this time.
So we had an interesting time too listening in on what they were being taught in school for the first time. So we were in the classroom when they were in COVID. And then my husband had to stop and redirect my son because of some of the things we heard the teachers saying.
Wow.
So we were just like, oh no, this is what they're telling y'all in school? Like, and then we saw like biases, we saw leniencies, we saw all these things because we were just listening in on the classroom. So my husband said, oh no, we gotta definitely school you when class is over, you know? And I think he even sent 2 messages to some of the teachers just to say like, listen, these are not classrooms. If this is your personal, you know what I mean? So it kind of gave us an in into what was happening in the classroom. So good and bad, bittersweet, right?
Yeah.
So much of it transpired.
Different because I was still working. So for me, it felt no, because I was nothing. So I was still going to work as normal. Nothing felt different. I didn't have the experience that most people had of just being at home. I wasn't at home, I was at work. So the one thing I loved was going to work because the time was really quiet. So it was so quick. It took me literally before, it took me about 45 minutes. During COVID, 10 minutes. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
What a
It was
difference.
so nice to
It
try.
was like so quick. Zooms.
Yeah, but then you had to be considered an essential worker because they weren't letting anybody out like
I was
that.
so confused by it. Because there was even a moment with work, they were telling me I should come in. I'm looking at the news, and I'm not a news person. I tell you, I have not watched the news since I can't really last remember. But during that time I watched because I wanted to know what kind of movement she was supposed to be able to calm during lockdown. And I remember having quite a deep discussion with my bosses at the time because I was getting anxious because I was like, I'm not going outside with your children are white. I'm black. I'm not taking your children outside because next minute I'm the one that's going to get stronger. And we already know how the police are biased already. So I'm not in it. They're like, no, it should be fine. No. And to the point I got, and it's like, I never get anxious much, but I got anxious. And I actually started crying in front of them. I said, I'm not doing it. You don't understand what I'm telling you. I'm not doing it. So I said, I am more than happy to do anything with your children inside the house. But in terms of me taking them out, not doing it. So they were like, whatever. And I said also, because they were talking about a fine of £1,000. And I said, and if they want to fine me, I said, where's that £1,000? Where's that £1,000 coming from? And she said, don't worry, if anything happens, we'll pay for it. And I said, okay, but I'm not taking them out. So then they did listen. And eventually what happened is that, well, straight away actually, they just take them out because they were working from home. And then I would just go out and have a little break for myself and just walk around the area. And even that was really, it was so it was eerie. I didn't even want it.
But I think it really gave us all the necessary reset. And I don't know, what was it like here for you? Because you were in a completely different environment.
Okay, so I just opened in Algeria, so most of you will know that I had a previous restaurant in Coaches, and most of the business was tourists. So when COVID came, they asked me to close down both. Everyone had to close down, including here. And I was frustrated because we just had a party, had a fantastic celebration to say that this one was going to be for the locals and do you know what I mean? Because the other one was a bit too commercial. It kind of preceded itself, you know. It was surrounded by like 5 hotels. And so when the tourists stopped coming, well here, both people, I had to close down basically. And then after about 6 weeks of crying, I'm thinking, right, what do I do? Do I cook from home? Do I start delivering? Or do I get people to come to, I didn't want people to come to the house.
So did the government give any kind of subsidy for business owners? And just
They gave it for business owners, but more for the hotels and the small business owners didn't get that.
what?
No.
That needed the most.
Well, I think the only concession was we got the fee back for 1 year. Yeah, but so much people lost. You know, they were rents that were paid for the year. I mean, you pay for everything for the year. Yeah. Some of the businesses back then were 5 years in advance. but you just had to abide by what they said. And then eventually, the idea of working from home didn't suit. So we opened it back and then just did delivery and blocked everyone from coming in and sitting because they said we couldn't. But it worked out in the end, and then eventually people came, everything opened back up. And business was good because tourists was coming. But yeah, COVID had a different impact on us here.
Yeah, but I think it definitely had an impact in Gambia.
Yeah, I think it's still like really.
Yeah, it's still really,
Yeah, I'm still recovering.
Because you can see like, look how quiet where you had mo2 lasagnas, and
Yeah, it was dead.
it was like
It was ghost town.
It was like such a little area to
Ghost
yeah.
town.
Nothing.
Tumbleweeds, you know when you go to those gunslinger towns and you see the tumbleweeds coming. It was like that.
It was really
Crazy. Surreal.
And then even Senegambia, but even once the water started trickling back in, it was just not the same. And you could see some businesses that had closed and didn't reopen. It did have an impact, but slowly now I can see like now like the amount of tourists are coming back. But I've even heard that even like from years before I even started coming here, it used to be like way more than now.
I guess it's reduced. Cost of living has gone up, global, whatever. This is a global thing. Everyone's putting onto their money. The fares have gone up. You know, they had this import problem. Remember they said all the cargo was stacked up. And you don't know if it's designed that way, or you just don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
But I think that's like a worldwide thing.
Yeah. So
Since COVID, they've just put the fares ridiculously. Nobody's complaining about it.
And now they're not even putting in luggage, you know, with your fare.
they're separating
They're
everything.
separating it.
You have to pay per bag most of them. Yeah. Pay for your
So
seat.
you think it was cheap at first.
Yeah. But
And then
by the
you
time
get
you
to
reach the
check
end
out,
of the checkout,
Yeah, there's no luggage.
So, and then not only that, you're paying double to go around the world and spend 8 hours in this country, 7 hours in this.
Yeah.
It's not even direct. So this used to be a very sought after place for a cheap winter sun holiday. And that's changed.
It's like the Gambia in Spain.
Yeah.
I think that's what
UK
they're
people would come, like, if you want to go to Africa, you can go to Europe. You usually go for Spain holiday.
Yeah.
Or Greece.
Yeah. But since, people started finding out about Gambia, it was like Gambia's Ibiza kind of thing. The Africa's Ibiza. But just...
And I think that's the problem.
I think.
They've put the fares up, so it's really expensive to come here. And because of all the works with the road being fixed, people think, why should I come here? But what people don't understand, it was a really wonderful place, it still is. But people are saying, oh, you're not telling the truth about Gambia. Well, because things have changed in the last 5 years. What was wonderful, we were all screaming about it. Come to Gambia, because it was like that. And oh, it's peaceful. You can walk around at 3 o'clock at night. You still can, but things have changed, isn't it?
Yeah,
The dynamics have
so
changed.
many people lost employment. Let's face it. Probably, like there's a lot more people out there. It's just it's taking a toll on the people. A lot of people lost their jobs now.
And if there wasn't employment before, there's even less now because of tourism. They're doing fully inclusive hotels. They're keeping the business in the hotels. Of course, desperation. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. There's a change.
Be as safe as it was before. Even though you can still do, most of the time you're going to be safe. You're relatively more safe, I would say, than where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Well, there was knife crime in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, if I even just
You might not have guns, but there was stabbings and stuff like that. I don't know if that happens anymore here.
At night,
Do you feel safe?
You are scared.
Do you feel safe?
I remember thinking, not gonna lie, recently hearing about some of the things that are happening now that's taking place in the Gambia, it does kind of now raise my anxiety just a little bit. I mean, I'm not single female coming from America, but I'm now thinking to myself, well, if I'm on the road and I'm by myself, would I be targeted for something, right? So I'm hearing a lot of that now. But when I came in 2021, I remember thinking that as I'm bringing my kids here, eventually, with the mind that, we would come here to repatriate to Haiti, I thought that I felt it was going to be safe. And I was like, no, I think that the kids will be fine. They'll be free. This is what you want for them, right? But then now, 3 years later, of course, we started in 21 and now we're here in 24. And for the most part, I will say I do feel safe. But hearing these little things now that are popping up, it's something definitely to be spoken about. All the things that have transpired over the last 3 years. That now has like a narrative. And so now that negativity is actually being put out on media because now my sister, for instance, who might not have been looking at the Gambia before, she says, oh, honey, let me see where you are. And then she pops in something on YouTube and now saying something negative about what's going on, or somebody else might see something with the sex tourism or something like that. And that could get popping up like, oh, isn't this the country that you're in?
Yeah, like, I feel like a lot of people do that more for views. It's not necessarily
sensationalism.
Yes, and they're buying into it. Like, I understand but why not take more offensive and trying to follow each other and bandwagon?
You know what I think too? I think that the system is designed in such a way. I was in the shower today and I was thinking about that. It's almost like everything here that makes it so hard for you makes you want to go back to the rest. It's like you have to be determined every day to say, no, I belong here. I'm supposed to be here. There's the obstacles and the challenges that are here is for me to overcome because that much more is the reason why I need to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like there's so many things. What did you have?
I had jerk prawns with chips and salad.
That's what did you have?
No, it's okay.
I had prawn omelette with salad and dressing was so good.
Homemade dressing, no store-bought.
It was just the flavors were just.
It was getting it right.
And you're not advertising, you actually.
No.
And what did you have? Because I saw
I
you
just had a breakfast. I've been on the go all morning. As you know, I'm like this. So that was my first chance to have breakfast. So I had dumpling, callaloo, eggs how you like, plantain.
Eggs how you like?
Yeah, eggs because I like mine. So some days it might be scrambled or it might be callaloo omelette.
Yeah.
It might be just onions. I've got this thing for onions and the tomatoes and they're so fresh. So I don't have baked beans. So in Jamaica we have spiced beans. But I'm trying not to do the processed thing. So I've invented my own baked beans without beans. So it's just a tomato gravy with so I can dunk my dumplings. To you Gambians, it's pancake.
And I found out that's not even the right saying. That's not how they pronounce it.
What do they do?
Like yesterday, it's not pancake. It's pancake.
They're very
It's not.
You don't want to say
Yeah, maybe somebody in the comments will correct us. But there's a lot of Gambian things that are similar to Jamaican. So many. I'm learning so much. So you said Pankak, even though that's not it.
Yeah, but I can pronounce it probably even then, but it's not.
That's like a lyric in a live cartel song.
Can't tell.
For real. But yeah, I think I even mentioned to someone else before. I found out what you're rude in Gambian, in Ola. Yabati.
Oh my God.
And Yabati, expletives, it means you're rude.
Right.
And they say it different. They say Yabati.
Okay.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
I know someone.
So, but we heard it that way, and so we would say it in Jamaica.
So maybe someone went over there to Jamaica. They were still saying it the Gambian way, and we learned it over there, and it's come full circle and come back. And to nyam, to eat, means they have a thing called nyami joto, which means to eat and sip. Someone put it in the food, but nyam, the word nyam means the same for us as it does for them. Nyam means to eat. So I'm learning all these, I've come back home words, I call them, my 360. You know, it followed us to Jamaica, but you know we've got Nani, we've got African.
Someone was doing like a comparison with trees and the land in Ghana. And and Jamaica. There's so many saying,
I've heard that.
even if we say like stuff like it's a Ghanaian
Ghanaian
word.
word, is it?
Kind of, I'm like, what? I didn't even realise there's some big links.
And also with Irish and Jamaican.
Yeah, there must be that.
We say you.
There must
They
be
say
because
you.
the Irish people. Anyway, I don't want to go into my beliefs in terms of Europe, but Europe was black,
Yeah.
and you know when
But that's
they
What do you mean when you say Europe is black?
But I don't
Explain
think
for
that's a
the.
belief. I think that's
No, I want you to
That's just fact.
explain.
Europe was
We
black.
know,
A lot of
but I
people
wanna
just
have-
want to say, oh, it's not true, but it was. Europe was black, and at a certain point in history, they done their best to expel all the blacks. Yeah, I mean that's even on their timeline where they expelled the blacks from Scotland and blacks from England.
Those black royalties?
And Ireland, and they shipped loads of them, especially the Irish, to Jamaica and Scottish. Yeah? Around
There
the
was
same
settlements.
time as what they're calling the slave trade. So we've got to really think about, sometimes, you know, the story, the narrative that we've been given is not as clean cut as you think it is, you know. From my perspective, you know, slave
I don't think
trade
at this
happened,
point-
but maybe not necessarily the way that we were taught.
Right, so that's what I'm thinking. I think now it's safe to say that we should not believe half of the way that it gets taught to us. And I think now is the time for us to really wake up.
own eyes and look
Well, not even,
yourself.
no, each of us opening each other's eyes also, because even if someone tells us something, it's really diligence for us to go check it out.
Yeah.
Right? So even if sometimes you look into scripture, it does tell you, even then, go and search for yourself and see if those things were true.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is what scripture says. It says that they were more diligent because they went home after they heard it and then they searched to see if those things were true. So we had stopped doing that. We had stopped going to check to see if those things were true.
So I found out, I went on a tour once and in Green Park, and they have these cellars and wine cellars under some of these restaurants.
Yeah.
And some of these cellars are so, like you have to duck. It's all brick underneath. And there's some of them are tunnels that lead to other places.
I've been on one for
You've
wine
been on one?
tasting, yeah.
For wine tasting. So there's all these wine cellars from back in the 17th century. And I found out one of the first wineries was a Jamaican from the 17th century who owned one. So we owned a lot from the 17th century, I've found.
And the thing is, this is what made me do some research for, because we tried to look into family, look into where my family comes from. And it's very obvious that my mum's family is coming from, you know, they've been to the slave plantation, just because of some of the words that they use with each other, even, you know, the fact that they call each other massa, and things like that. If you're calling somebody massa Jim, then that's a master, isn't it? So, but, when my dad's side of the family now, you just keep finding they seem to be very wealthy people. And they got Scottish surname. I'm like, okay. So when did this happen? But when I'm looking into it, it doesn't seem like one of my grandmothers said, no, I never got slavery. Because some of us didn't do slavery.
Yeah. I don't think
Some of us were probably, you know, very rich, even royalty, that were expelled from these places and sent to the Caribbean.
Exactly. So I'm not even sure in terms of my mum's family. I didn't get to ask them now that it was there.
So now it might be a bit early to say, but my husband is a pastor, a reverend of a big Methodist church, Methodist church in Malta, which really started from Wesley, who is from Libya, right? So that's from the end of the church. So with that said, part of this year, my husband was almost on sabbatical, so he took some time off from the church because he wanted to come to Africa and do some research himself into spirituality, into religion, into African spiritualism, all of our stuff, right? So this year has really been, when they said that the year started with like a year of truth, it really has been this year of truth. And like from the beginning of the year, you just kind of heard it, like things were being exposed and things, this was going to be the year that people were going to. So now all of a sudden we're making this big transition and we're moving to Africa and like, people are looking at us like, oh, this is huge. But I'm saying that to you is that our initiative of what we talked about, and I know this is something that I carry out to make sure this happens. we want to open what's called a wisdom center. And in the wisdom center, it's not going to be anymore about teaching our people about religion. We want to start to open their minds to God and God's concept, but not through a religion. And it's getting back to African spirituality. And getting back to the stuff that we were told, the stuff that we were taught. How authentic are those things? Why didn't we search those out? How did we believe that for so long? All of the things we believe. So, without even putting that out there, we want to just have a space where everyone can come. And it's going to be so beautiful that it's like, it's a place for learning. And so you go into whatever room and practice however you practice going to God in whatever form you do that, and it's something that's open every day. It's not a Sunday thing. It's not a 8 o'clock thing. It's not because religion has kind of polluted us as a people, so we're kind of exploring that.
I just want to say congratulations to you.
I love what you guys
because
are
I
doing.
love that you look outside of what you're used to.
Yes,
and are exploring. It's not normal. And because me myself, I was not brought up in a religion, and I've always had that space to just find for myself. So I just feel like I'm really enamored by that.
I was brought up in a religion, so and it just felt claustrophobic. I'm not going to lie, I was claustrophobic person. I just had to ask the questions every week, and half the time they couldn't answer any of my questions. And for me, that's where it starts.
Okay, so it's jerk chicken in a spring roll with passion fruit sauce. So we, my lovely chefs in the back are always creating new sauces because, like I said, we sauce it like that. So try it and let me know what you think, ladies.
I like that saying though. It's
you
like
sauce it
that.
like
I like that. I like that. That's what she said.
Yeah. But thank you though, because it's we're navigating that space right now.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
Exactly.
And we do feel like a lot of people are going to be like, really? Because that's from the Reverend? Like, what are you talking about? But he's at that place in his life where he's like, you know what? If not now, when?
Yeah.
It's a good Reverend.
When am I not going to tell my... And he was always back conscious and he felt constrained. And so he was just kind of like...
That's
he
an
was just kind
awakening,
of
isn't
like...
it?
I'm not saying to my people that I'm supposed to say, but this book isn't kind of telling them that.
Yeah.
And I don't
He's
want
a
to be
good reverend.
afraid that I don't want to be afraid. And so he's telling me, Tony, I can't. I'm like, you gotta do it because we pay our bills this way. We do, And he's just like, you know what? I need to take a break because I don't know. And I don't want to stand in front of people and say things that if I'm still not certain myself. So that just takes us into a different aspect. But in being here in the Gambia, it's really to our mind that we want to do that wisdom center, and it's our project because it'll be our giving back to people to kind of take off the blinders.
Yeah.
And so, because most of us have been religious eyes, and I'm seeing that particularly here in the Gambia.
So you've got to ask questions. That's the thing. That's what we was not taught to do.
But that's life. You should always ask questions.
We
It
taught
doesn't
not
matter
to
what it
ask
is.
questions. You go to school. This is fact. That's it.
And that's the thing, my dad brought me up to say, always ask why. I remember I would say to him, oh, Dad, I read this and it says whatever, and he'll be like, where? What? Why? What is it that they say? Like, and I remember as a child being like, oh, but I just read it. Like, why do you always have to? And he was just like, no, you should always question things. Always.
That's how it is in my school.
Yeah.
That's how we teach the children to have an open mind.
But that's why I used to get into trouble at school because I was asking too many questions. History, because I knew I was taught history at home. So the question, when no, it doesn't go like that. But what about this? What about that? And they'll be like, go and stand in the corridor.
Yeah.
So they don't like being questioned. They've got their curriculum. They follow it straight.
Yeah.
So I was branded, I suppose, because I asked questions. I got.
So you're unruly.
I'm unruly. Yeah.
That's how it was the same for me in church. So that's why I'm saying, even in my school at the moment, well, we teach our story, not his story.
You teach your school, sorry.
We teach our story, not his story.
Our story.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
We all
because
want
when all
that.
of these wars were going on, something was going on in Africa too.
Yeah.
Something was going on in the Caribbean too. And a lot of the time, our people were involved in different ways. That we don't teach our children.
So you're saying in your school, what school?
My school is Tahuti Ma'at School. It's in Bruford.
Tahuti Mahat.
What does Mahat mean?
Tahuti means wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It's a masculine principle. They're African principles, and then Mahat means justice, truth, and righteousness.